Hello everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Marguerite. I'm going to be showing you how to contour, first using cream products and then using powder. So if the cream is too much, which it might seem like I'm using a lot of product, I definitely understand if the cream is too much for you. You can just skip that part and follow how to do contouring just with the powder. So I already have my foundation on. I already have concealer under my eye. So it just looks a little more natural when you cream highlight first before you go in with your cream contour. I'm going to start at the tops of my cheeks and just like slowly buff it in. I'm using this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, and it's just a really good highlight. So a good rule for highlighting is just where any light would naturally hit your face, you want to highlight because that's going to bring more light to your face. Your cheekbones is definitely where light will catch. And I always bring it up towards the tip of my eyebrow because it just helps my eyebrows look a little more lifted. So you can also, in other places you can highlight in here, down the bridge of your nose, the tip of your nose, above your Cupid's bow and your chin. I always do it right here. It just kind of helps your lips look a little more pouty. You can put light, anything light on the top of your lips, any dark on the bottom, and that's going to help your lips look more big. You can put some on your chin. If you have a large chin, you're not going to want to highlight this. You're going to want to contour that because it's going to bring light to your chin, and then you can just kind of do some on your forehead. I have oily skin, so I try not to get too crazy with highlighting. I usually just stick to the tips of my cheekbones and then I stop right there. I don't bring it in here because I get very oily right here, and I'm going to set that with the powder once I'm done with my cream products. So that's all for highlighting with my cream product. Later on. Now for contouring, I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown foundation stick. This is just a very easy way to contour. I always start with cream products. Just by using a cream, it's just going to help intensify your contour. It's going to enhance it and just make it stand out better. It's going to make by using creams first, it's going to make any powder look better in my opinion, but this definitely isn't necessary. So for contouring, now you want to go where the shadows usually hit your face. So you can kind of see like under my cheekbone. A lot of people do the fish face to sculpt out your cheekbones and to find out where your cheekbone, the bottom of your cheekbone lies. So if you do that, also another good rule of thumb, it's usually like where the top of your ear is. Anyways, if you can't find like the hollows of your cheeks, you can just go to the top of your ear and start there. But I usually can see mine. I usually put it right there, and I always stop right there because this product blends so well and it's so creamy. I can move it down a little more. Now you don't want to bring it all the way to your mouth because that's just going to make you look older. It's just going to like really contour your face, and you want this to try to look as natural as you can. I mean, I know there's nothing really natural about contouring, but if it's done right, it really can help you look better. So also I follow my hairline and I put it on the sides. Now, if you have a large forehead, you can bring it above also, and then you can do like 2 more lines, which I'm just gonna do for kicks because who doesn't want a smaller forehead? If you have a pretty small forehead, then I guess you can skip this step and just highlight there, because if you highlight there, it's gonna make it look bigger. And then I always contour under my lip. This is gonna make my lip look fatter, nice and juicy. And then I like contouring. This is going to really define my jawline. Do you see that? And so if you already have a pretty intense jawline, then you want to skip that step. But any of you ladies that just want to look more structured, then do that. I'm going to take a brush and then dip it in here just so I can get a really good line. Now the closer you bring these lines, the smaller your nose is going to look. I try to stay on the top of my nose and I bring it all the way down. So if you have a huge nose, you can bring that a little closer. You could even bring it out a little more. I bring mine up, and then I always just run this on the bottom of my nose like that. Now, it's good to get a very dense, to blend it out, get a very dense synthetic brush. I use this angled one. This is by Sigma. They're angled Kabuki F84. Sigma, Nordstrom sells Sigma. Amazon sells Sigma brushes, and I guess Sigma.com. They're very good. These are very good. These are what a lot of makeup artists use, and they're very, very good to blend out the product. Now I always spray it because this is MAC Fix Plus, because it just helps blend my cream out. This product is already so creamy, but you know, maybe you have one that's more drying. So you can also get your beauty blender, but that's going to take like 100 years. So, okay, try to blend up, because you don't want to bring it down. That's just going to sag down your face. You want it to look more lifted and structured. So just try to blend this up and out. Try to stay as close to the hairline as you can, because that's usually where your dark shadows fall. So, and you want to connect the top to this. And then you can even like continue following the outer edge of your face and go down there. So now you just really want to take your time blending this out to make sure there are no lines. So for the next like 3 hours, I think I'm just going to be blending. So I'm going to fast forward this part and tune back in like 3 hours. So, and that was a joke, by the way. But yeah, I'm just buffing it up. Because who doesn't like to buff? And then you can bring it down your neck just for some greatness. Now it's good to use a shade like 3 shades darker than 4 shades darker than your normal foundation. I used a very like almondy color just to give me a really good glow, a really good tan, you know, because I just like to act like I'm from Florida year round. So that's why I did that, you know. Okay, so for the nose, you can just go in with your finger, and the heat from your finger is just gonna help like blend this product out. I mean, maybe if you have like a small enough brush, honestly, you can take like an eyeshadow brush and blend that out. Or you can use your finger. Now, you gotta set everything with the powder, and then I'll show you how to contour with powder. So I'm just setting my treacherous pores with this Pores No More by It Cosmetics, and then I might as well set my whole face. Okay. Shadester by MAC. I think this is one of like their pro products, and their Sculpt, it's just called a sculpting powder called Shadester. I'm taking this brush by Nars, their Nars Ita Brush. You can go over, we're gonna go over everything that we use with powder. So, swirl it in your powder, tap off the excess, and then same rule of thumb. Start right where that cheekbone, right underneath that cheekbone. I personally like my contour higher. I feel like it lifts your face better. Like I've seen some people contour like lower, if that makes sense. And I just think it like lifts your face more if you have a higher contour. That's kind of why you bring that color up onto your cheekbone a little. And then same thing, and then swirl it up like circular motions. That's just going to help you blend it. And then along the hairline, down the bridge of your nose, under your lip, and then along your jawline. So now if you really want a sharp line, You can take any translucent powder, any like white powder, cream powder. I'm going to use this brightening powder by Laura Mercier. I don't know how to say her name. But so directly under that line, you are going to tap this product. You know, you can use that brush, that Nars brush too. So under the contour, you are going to go like that. This is going to really sharpen your contour. Or you can take your Beauty Blender. This one isn't wet, but like, see how the product is just kind of sitting there? Like, pack on as much product as you can. And then leave it on for a good 5 to 10 minutes. And this is the term baking, and this is just really going to help intensify your contour. It's very good to suck away any oil. Just the more you leave it on there, the more it's just gonna intensify that contour. After 10 minutes, then wipe it away. And then to soften the lines, use a, this is a Duo Fibre F50 brush by Sigma. Okay, I'm gonna use Shaft of Gold by MAC. I have so many highlighters. This is not the most natural one. This is more for like a nice golden summer glow, which it's winter, so I'm not going to use that right now. I'm just going to use this Hourglass highlighter. This is the most natural highlighter, honestly, I have. And I'm going to use Radiant Light, which is this one. If you have a fan brush, this is where that comes in hand. So dip it in your highlighter, tap off the excess, and then just like lightly brush the tops of your cheekbones. Just in the sweetest, lightest little movements, just like that. Just where that light hits, and people will see that beautiful glow and just be so wowed. They will think you just got back from the beach. So also, yeah, I just leave it there because if I bring it too far forward, it's just gonna, I think, enlarge my pores and bring attention to my pores, which we do not want, ladies. So I just leave it there. You can highlight the tip of your nose, down the bridge of your nose, which a lot of people like. You can highlight your forehead, your chin, but I personally don't like bringing too much attention to my forehead because I have very oily skin, so I don't want to bring attention to that forehead. I don't want to bring attention to my nose. I don't want to bring attention to my chin because who likes a chin? So I just kind of stick to my cheeks. That's just kind of what I like. So now I'm going to set my face. I'm going to use this MAC Fix Plus just so that all the creams and powders blend seamlessly together. This also will just help your face not look so powdery. It just helps it look more like skin. Technically, you're not supposed to spray that over your eyes if you have eye makeup on because it can make your like liners and your eyeshadows kind of melt together, but I honestly haven't had that problem. So all right, let's fix the hair. Fix the hair, ladies. So that is that for contouring. I hope that was very informative. This is just what I like to carve out my face. This is what works for me. So, you know, the more you play around with it, the more you'll figure out your face shape and where you want the darks, where you want the lights, where you want the light to hit, what area you want to shrink, what area you want to make bigger. It just depends on your face shape, and the point of playing around with makeup is just you'll figure it out as you go, and that's the fun of it. Just remember to subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot to me, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.